Hi guys, and welcome to the start of a weekend reading vlog. My name is Beth and I am the bookworm trait. So today is Friday and at 12 o'clock tonight Becca's Bookopoly readathon starts. Now I'm sure you've all seen Becca's Bookopoly before, so I'm not going to explain how it works. I will briefly explain how the readathon is going to work. So Becca will be rolling the dice and she will roll the dice twice, move twice, and that will give us 2 prompts to pick from for a book to read. She has done the first 2 rolls already, and over the next 48 hours there will be some more rolls. I'm not sure exactly how many. The first 2 rolls were to read a magical realism or paranormal book or a chance card. I decided to go with the chance card because I had just, well, at the time I think I was reading a magical realism book and I thought I might not want to read another one. So I put a poll up on Twitter based off of the 4 books that I got my cat to pick from in my Sims Picks My TBR, which I will link if you want to watch it. My cat is very cute. So the book that my cat picked was My Dark Vanessa, and this was also the pick in the Twitter poll as well, so great. I was really excited to read this, but I have since had a couple of people comment on my post and tell me that this is an incredibly dark and difficult book to read, so this is going to be a very intense 48 hours. That being said, I do think that might work in my favour, so I may actually find that I'm getting through this a bit quicker because of the deep, dark, heavy topics that it is about. That tends to be how I go with my reading. I was about to say, I recently am finding myself very gripped by very difficult books, but the last book that I read, which was a difficult book, was 200 pages and it took me like over a week to read. So I'm hoping through some of the other prompts I'm going to be able to incorporate some of my current reads. So I'm currently reading The Beast by Katie Roberts and some graphic novels so that I can try and read a lot over this weekend. Now obviously it is not 12 o'clock yet, it's still light outside, but I did think it would probably be best to start this vlog when I still have makeup on and when it's still light outside and when I'm sober. I do have a friend over and we're gonna have a couple of drinks, so I will be somewhere between tipsy and very drunk at 12 o'clock. I am going to start reading at 12 anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to section this into 50-page sections and work out from that how many reading sessions I will need. I can usually do about 50 pages in an hour depending on the book. I think this is around 350, so that is 7 hours to read this. It's like a day's work, but I'm just hoping that will keep me motivated and push me to read the entire book in 48 hours, because I'm not normally very good at that kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to do that and then I'm going to have a glass of Prosecco. So just before I go and tab out my book, I just want to show you how cute my cat is. Frankie, say hello. Frankie. She's tired. Aww. She's so cute.
Hey, I heard you got a new best friend. Yeah, it hurts a bit, I won't pretend that it doesn't matter that you're with someone else. In a way, that's how it's supposed to be. If I'm unable to make you happy, then it's for the better that you are not with me. That's why I wrote you a letter, cause you see, I write so much better than I speak. And I need to tell you, you were my best friend till the end. I hope I'll be happy without you, but right now I don't know what to do. It's hard to get over, you chose someone else, a new best friend.
So it is 3 minutes to 12, which means it's about time to start this. Why is this the one that I picked? Well, I didn't pick it. The poll picked it. The poll wanted me to be distraught and cry on a vlog. That's how I feel right now. So my friend wasn't able to come round in the end, but my husband's friend did come round. So whilst they were outside making a barbecue and cooking on a barbecue, I drank Prosecco and watched Avatar like any good wife would. Now they are gonna stay downstairs and have some man time, and I am gonna drink more Prosecco and start this book. So I want to read at least up until my last page marker, my first page marker. My last page marker is like 10 pages from the end. So 46 pages, I think that's all I'll probably read tonight, depending on how I get on with the first 46 pages. But I'm going to do that now, drink more Prosecco, probably get actually in the bed to read. This coffee is not good. Yes, I'm in bed. No, I am not getting up. So my reading didn't really get off to the start that I was hoping. So 12 o'clock hits and I go downstairs to get a drink. I think I did an update, I'm not sure. I went downstairs to get a drink and my husband had fallen asleep on the sofa, leaving his best friend to just watch telly on his own. So I was like, crap, I'm gonna have to be a hostess for a little bit. We ended up having a really lovely chat. He mentioned that he felt that the wording of the Black Lives Matter movement should be All Lives Matter. Now I was triggered, but I kept calm. And I asked him if he understood why that was hurtful to me and the black community and the Black Lives Matter movement. He gave me the opportunity to explain it to him and openly listened to what I had to say, and got very upset when he realised that he was wrong. And it was a really lovely opportunity, and I'm very grateful to have had that opportunity, because I think it's not very often that people want to listen with their whole heart and admit that what they think is wrong, what they believe is wrong. So what started off as me going to get a drink ended up with me spending 3 hours talking and drinking more Prosecco that I really didn't need. When I eventually came to bed, I did start my Dark Vanessa. I read 6 pages and then realised that I was too drunk and too tired to read anything. So it's 9:45 now. I'm not getting out of bed, but I'm going to try and make it through the first of my Dark Vanessa sections, and then I will let you know how I got on with it. I did enjoy the first 6 pages. It's just I was too drunk to read. I'm sitting on this chair right now to try and make myself seem alive, but know this, I am dead. If you learn one thing from this video, do not drink heavily before starting a 48-hour readathon, because you will regret it immensely. So I read the first section of my Dark Vanessa. It's not a book for a hangover, I'm just gonna say that. It's really good. I really enjoyed it, but boy, was it difficult to concentrate. My husband has just gone to the shop to get ingredients for a fry up, so I'm hoping I will eat that. I will have some painkillers, multiple cups of tea, and I will be good. I'll be golden. Until then, I think I'm just gonna wait for this one. I think I can probably finish this weekend though. It's quite easy to read. Would have been easier if I didn't have a throbbing headache though. So Becca's just done the second 2 roles, and the options were viewer recommends or a culturally diverse book. So I think I'm going to go with a culturally diverse book because I can't be bothered to try and find a recommendation. So on my TBR, I have the graphic novel The Woods, but I'm not sure if it's culturally diverse. I don't think it is. See a lot of white faces on the cover. So I think I'm gonna go with Skyward. Now, I'm not sure that this one is culturally diverse either. It's gonna be more culturally diverse than The Woods. I'm halfway through this already as well, which is pretty good. I think our main character's mixed race. I'm gonna go with this. I'm not sure it exactly fits the prompt, but I don't care. I am filming from a very odd location here. This is my spare room. I wouldn't normally be in here or reading in here or filming in here or anything. It's basically a junk room. As you can see, I'm like slotted into a really narrow space, but this is my reading chair, and this used to be in my reading room. Because of COVID and having to work from home, my house is just, it's just stressful at the moment. It's much better than it was, but things are in weird places right now. And right now I just want to read in a really comfy spot. I just want to be really comfy. So following my last update, which was 4 hours ago, I read a little bit of Skyward, not much. I read that much. Can you see? I don't actually think that this is an appropriate book for the prompt, because she's black and I am black, and it's supposed to read from a culture that's not your own. But I'm gonna say that this is set in America and I am obviously British, so we're gonna say it's fine. So yeah, so I read that, and then I had my fry up and my 2 cups of tea, but before that I was sick. So the hangover elevated significantly. So I literally So I literally read those pages of this and was like, I do not feel good. Threw up, ate some food, and then went to sleep. So I've been asleep for like 2 hours. So I really have not got off to a good start with this readathon, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm feeling much better now. I've had a shower, I've changed into a clean pair of pajamas, and now I am just going to read and just have a wonderful time. So I'm going to read My Dark Vanessa. My plan is to read the next section. How many pages is that? Yeah, so 59 pages. So my plan is to read that, and then I'll take a little break, and then I want to pick it up again. I want to get 199, so I'm on page 47 right now. I'm not good at maths, but that's around 150 pages. I want to read 150 pages more of this today, and then I can finish it off tomorrow. It's gripping and I'm enjoying reading it, so I'm hopeful that I can do it. That being said, I am not good at reading readathons because I do not have the patience, the concentration, the stamina. I don't have any of those things, but I believe in myself. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this later on. Eventually at some point I'm going to have to spend some time with my husband, so I'll read this because I can read this while watching the TV. And I haven't really got that much left. I'm over halfway through. I just have this left. On this graphic novel, it's not my favourite graphic novel. I am enjoying it. There's just something about the art style that I don't love. I think maybe it's the colour scheme actually. Just quickly like flicking through it, it's very earth toned. Like there's lots of yellows, reds. In that page was blue, but browns. Whereas I'll show you what I like. So this is my favourite graphic novel of all time, and like the art in this is so like, oh, I love this. I should have reread this, you know, because I think they're Latina, but this is a slightly bigger one. Anyway, kind of went off topic there. So I am going to put on some ASMR. I don't think I'm going to use ASMR rooms, which is what I usually use, because a lot of her videos are Harry Potter themed and it's just kind of giving me the ick right now. So I'm not going to use hers. but she is very, very good, and I would recommend. She also does like Lord of the Rings ones. I think she had to remove her Studio Ghibli ones. They're very good. What do I want? Should I do like a classroom one? Because teacher-student relationship. Or is that dark? I'm gonna do it anyway. I actually needed to wash and dye my hair today. But obviously that is not gonna happen. So I'm coming at you from another random filming location. I'm in the same room, I just couldn't be bothered to like close the blinds, and actually this ended up being more effort. I thought it would be cool because you'd be able to see my like shoes behind me, but honestly you're not getting the best shelves, like apart from these boots. Like these are so old and so ugly. So it just took me like an hour and a half maybe to read 59 pages, which is a long time. Possibly 2 hours, like that's a long time. I'm not sure why it took me so long. I guess I am tired, so I probably am reading a little bit slower than I normally would. This book is, it's a lot. It's really good. It's really well written, and I'm finding I'm not getting distracted when I'm reading it, which is weird because it's taken me so long to read. But it's hard. It's hard to read. It is a hard book, and I was warned it was a hard book. And I think that's probably better for me because I seem to be really into like gritty contemporaries at the minute. And I think the fact that this is so gritty and dark means that I actually want to pick it up. So that's good. But I need to have a break now because I have a lot of feelings. I recently read All the Ugly and Wonderful Things. I don't really want to talk about that book because I feel incredibly angry about that book. If you want to know my spoiler thoughts on it, I do. I'll link my vlog where I talked about it. Like, it's literally a good 15 minutes of me ranting about it. This is the book that I wanted that book to be. This is not romanticizing her relationship with her teacher, despite the fact that she is romanticizing the relationship with her teacher, and that is important. Like, I feel stories like this are important. You know, I wouldn't be recommending a teenage girl reads this book, a 15-year-old girl reads this book, because it's gonna be hard to read. It's obviously not appropriate, but I feel like it's a book that most adults should read. Obviously, if you're not triggered by it, there are trigger warnings for rape and obviously child abuse, sexual child abuse in this book. But I think it's an important story to understand how grooming works, because it's something that we should be aware of, because we obviously want to protect our children and young people so that this doesn't happen. I feel like I'm just talking and not being coherent, but yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I have to put it down for a little bit now. So I'm not sure if I'm actually going to make it to my target for today, which was page 199. So I'm on page 104, but it is 6:30 and I want to go downstairs and spend some time with my husband. So I will read some more of it today. But I think what I'm going to do now, my husband started cooking dinner. We are having Chinese pork steaks with asparagus and roast potatoes, and I just can't wait. I love roast potatoes. Okay guys, it is, I don't know what time it is. I really should have gone and got some light. Okay, this light here is ever so slightly better. I just kind of blend in with everything. So I'm trying to update you, But this little kitten wants to go outside and she won't stop meowing. So are you going to be quiet? You can go down if you promise to be quiet. Okay? Look at her, she hates me. Well, I love you. The thing about that cat is, if you want her to stop doing something, you just have to pick her up for a bit and then she gets annoyed and runs away. I have read the next section of this book. This is almost definitely going to be a 5-star read. It is so good. It's so gripping. And I know a lot of people have said it's a really hard book. And it is, but it's so well written and so gripping that it's not like hard to read it. So yeah, so I read the last section, so that was 44 pages, and I was like, I'll just read 20, have a little break, and then I'll read another 20, and then I'll go to bed and maybe start on the next section. But it's just so good that I just read the whole 44 pages, and I'm not sure if I'm oh, I'm so tired. And I want to read the rest, but I'm really tired and I don't know if I can. I'm going to start it anyway and see how I get on with it. I'm definitely staying up till 12 because I want to see the next role for Bookopoly. So I might just read till 12. I might try and just read 25 pages at least. Or maybe I'll just watch on telly, I don't know. I can't decide. And this light is so terrible. It's Sunday. So the last update I think I gave you, I was going to bed and I couldn't decide whether I'd be reading or just chilling, but I said I was going to stay up and see the next prompts come in. I went to bed, put on She-Ra. I've started watching She-Ra and the art style for that cartoon is just beautiful. Well, I put an episode of that on and pretty much immediately just fell asleep. I did end up seeing the drop because just before 12 or just after 12 my neighbours came home from a night out and they were very loud. So I woke up, saw the prompts, and then I just went back to sleep because I was too tired to try and read or watch TV or update or anything. So I can't remember what the prompts were now. Oh, a gifted book or a mystery thriller. So I'm going to go with a mystery thriller, and again I'm going to kind of bend the plot a little bit. So I'm going to go with Lumberjanes Volume 2. I'm going to read this on my iPad. I read quite a lot of graphic novels on my iPad and it's fine. I mean, obviously I prefer like the physical version, but graphic novels are expensive. It's around 10 o'clock. It's 10:30. So the next drop is at 12 and I would really like to finish this graphic novel before then. I don't know how long this one is, but I would like to finish it before then so that I then only have 2 books going at a time. So I would have My Dark Vanessa and whatever the next drop is. My plans for today, I have some shelves that need to go up in my living room and my kitchen. So they're really big, so I can't put them up myself. So hopefully my husband will do that and then I can do a bit of organisation. I've recently redone my bookshelves. I do have a video, I think, because I think I might have not filmed all of it. I'm still probably going to take some books off of here, so I think I might take these Mina Lima ones and some of my other like really nice hardback. Some of the ones that I struggled to put on my shelves, I think I might put those downstairs. And then if I have time, I might do a little bit of painting. I don't know. Not like artistic painting, house painting. So I'm hopefully, so I might pick up an audiobook for the next prompt. If I can find something that's about 5 or 6 hours, I should be able to do that in a day. I'm really hoping we get smut or romance because that's what I'm in the mood for. Like, I read a lot of romance, but I haven't really been reading it at the moment. I do actually have an ebook that I'm partly through, but I want to pick up another one. like I'm really, really in a romance mood. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go and read, and then I'll probably come back and check in when the next drop lands and let you know what I've picked. So it's 1:15. So we've had the final drop of prompts. I finished Lumberjanes Volume 2 prior to the drop, so that's fine. That was my intention. I think I had like 15 minutes or something, and it was alright. It's not my favourite graphic novel, but I like the artwork. I think it's really cute. I think the story's cute, and I like the strong female friendship vibes of it. I think it's really nice. I don't think I really said how this fits with the mystery prompt. Obviously I can't really tell you about Volume 2, but Volume 1, and this is, I read this like probably for the Owls or something last year, but it's basically a group of girls who are kind of like Girl Scouts, and they're at this camp, and there's some kind of strange fantastical things going on, and they have to try and figure out what's going on, and like solve puzzles to fix things. So they have to like solve anagrams and things like that. So it's definitely not a thriller, but there's definitely like mystery aspects to it. Yeah, it definitely did fit the prompt. The second prompt, so we had the option of a YA fantasy or a contemporary or romance. So I got my wish. I will be reading romance, but what romance I read, I'm not sure. So I am reading The Beast, and I'm about 20% of the way into that already, so I could try and finish that off. It's a book by Katie Roberts. I guess it's technically like mafia romance, but it's not. It's also not. And this particular story, so it's a series of standalones. This particular one is a polyamorous pairing, so it's male, male, female. But I don't really know if that's what I want to read. I kind of want to read something different, so I might grab an audiobook off script or something. I haven't really decided, and I don't need to decide right this second, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read 50 pages of My Dark Vanessa. I should really have read some of this already today, but I've been doing a lot of faffing. I'm a bit worried that I'm pushing myself into a reading slump because I don't really feel like reading today, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
It doesn't feel like it was long ago. We were head over heels in love, thought it lasts forever, but somehow we got lost. Looking back, I didn't realize what was wrong with me. I can't deny I took you for granted. You finally had enough. That's why I wrote you a letter, 'cause you see, I write so much better than I speak. And I need to tell you, you were my best friend to the end. I hope I'll be happy without you, but right now I don't know.
Okay, so it is 10 to 7, and I still have so much of this book to read. I still have like 110 pages, so I am starting to get a little bit worried that I am not going to finish this, but I'm trying to keep a positive outlook. This is my main priority, so I still haven't picked up a book for the second prompt. Not the second prompt, it's like 4th or 5th prompt, but whatever. I was debating what I was going to read earlier, and I think I'm going to read it's called Very Wicked Beginnings. It's from the Briarwood Academy series. I read the first book of this series. Let me see if I can find what it's called. It was called Very Bad Things, and I'll be honest, it was not my favourite book. It was okay, but I didn't really enjoy it that much. So I wasn't going to continue with this series, but Very Wicked Beginnings is a novella between books 1 and 2, and it's only 45 pages. maybe 47 pages, and I just think at this point I'm going to struggle to fit in anything that is longer than that, so that's what I'm going to read. This is going to be my priority though, so I'm not going to pick that up until I finish My Dark Vanessa, which is just so good. I really actually struggled with picking up a romance book because I tend to read age gap romance, stuff that's quite dark, sometimes a bit taboo, and I thought I cannot read a dark taboo romance whilst I'm reading this book because that's just wrong. So I haven't really done any of the things that I said I wanted to do today. I have not dyed my hair. I don't think I'm gonna have time to do that. I'll just have to do it tomorrow. I did put one of the shelves up, so this shelf in the background, this was put up today, but I have two that still need to go up in the living room, and like this was really stressful getting this up, so that was not done today. And I didn't do any painting, so despite feeling a lot better today, it's been a lot less productive. I have just prepped dinner, which you should have had a little clip of. I'm doing a lamb pasanda, but it's a pinch of nom recipe, so it's healthy. So whilst I wait, I'm gonna read some more of this and just try and get as much reading as I can done. What I would like to do is have this finished by the time the live show starts so that I can read my ebook during the live show. That's what I would like to do. I've been reading this during the Instagram sprints, and it's very hard to like stop when the sprints stop, because this is not a book that you want to like stop halfway. Like usually I can just stop halfway through a page, halfway through a sentence, it's not a big deal, but this I want to do that with. So I would like to have this finished so I have something that means I can just kind of interact a little bit more. So Bookopolython has just ended and I am so tired. I am not going to do a full update now. I just wanted to come on and say that it's ended. I'll do a final wrap up tomorrow of this vlog, but it's finished. I did not manage to read my romance book, but I did finish My Dark Vanessa and I finished 2 graphic novels, and I'm happy with that. It's not my best reading weekend, but bearing in mind I lost most of Saturday by self-indulging. I lost all my reading time on Friday by self-indulging, and I lost a good few hours today putting up a shelf. Like, I'm still happy with that, and that book was tough to read. Like, it was easy to read, but it was physically draining to read. I'll do my final thoughts on that and just give overall ratings for everything tomorrow, but now I'm going to go to bed and sleep. So it's Monday and I am here to wrap up the vlog. As I said last night, I didn't manage to read my 4th book, but I'm still happy with how much I read. I am not the kind of person who reads like 3 books, 4 books a week. I have been, but I'm not that person anymore. For me to even read like an entire book in a weekend is a lot for me. I can't remember the last time that I read so much in a weekend. So I'm still pleased with myself. So Dark Vanessa was my chance pick. This was absolutely a 5-star read for me. Probably not the best book to try and like read really fast because there's a lot to take in, and I wanted, you know, it's like it's a difficult topic and I wanted to make sure that I did the topic, like I did the book justice, that I was getting everything from the book that the book was giving. And I feel like I did. It was very hard hitting, it was very well written, although it took a lot of time for me to read and a lot of effort for me to read. It didn't, whilst I was reading it, it didn't feel hard. This is probably going to make it into my top books of the year. It was just so good, so good. I think this has made me realise that I really enjoy books that tackle taboo themes. I obviously really like gritty contemporaries, which is like mind-blowing to me because I typically my entire life have never read contemporaries, but that's That's what I'm starting to find out. And I think this was just dealt with brilliantly. I think this is a very, very important book. And I think, and I don't want to talk about this book, but I'm just gonna say it. I think anyone who has read and enjoyed All the Ugly and Wonderful Things should read this book, because I think this book would help you understand why All the Ugly and Wonderful Things is an incredibly problematic book, because I feel like there are real parallels between Vanessa's experience and Wavy's experience in the way that they are both groomed. I would say that Kellen, who is the love interest in All the Ugly Wonderful Things, and Strain, I think is his name, Mr. Strain, are different breeds. Strain is a lot more aware and insidious in his behaviour, but there is definitely parallels, and I think this helps show why that relationship, Wavy and Kellen's relationship, is just bleh. But I'm not talking about it anymore because I don't want to bring attention to a book that I think is damaging. So 5 stars for this. I also finished Skyward. I had started this, I didn't read this from start to finish, and I gave this 4 stars. I don't think I actually talked about this book after I finished it. Very close to being a 5 stars. Probably like 4.5, but I'm rounding it down. The reason this didn't quite get 5 stars is because I just really didn't like the art style, but the story was so good and so enjoyable, and I definitely want to continue with this series because I'm intrigued about what the next thing is going to be. I don't want to spoil what happens at the end of it, but I think it was a really interesting plot. It's not a kind of story that I've ever come across before, and I would love an animation of this. That would be perfection. And the final book that I read, or graphic novel that I read, was Lumberjanes Volume 2, and again I gave this 4 stars. This is much more suited to my personal taste in art styles. It's not my favourite, but it's definitely more in my alley, down my alley, on my alley, I don't know. And that was to fulfill the prompt to read a mystery or a thriller. There's definitely mystery elements in this book. Every volume so far anyway, they have to solve a little mystery. It was good, not my favourite, hence why it's not getting 5 stars. It's actually quite difficult for a graphic novel to get 5 stars from me, because it has to have both an engaging and captivating plot and a perfect art style. So I think the only graphic novels I've ever got 5 stars is probably Tea Dragon Society, Blackbird, and possibly Saga. But I just had such a good time this weekend. I really was worried that I was going to put myself into a slump, but I actually think it's kind of given me a little reading boost that I definitely needed. So hopefully I'm going to continue that momentum into next week. And yeah, I had a good time. Thank you, Becca, for organising it. It was good. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a like to let me know. If you've read any of the books that I've talked about, or you have any recommendations, then please leave me a comment. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, that would be so appreciated. But hopefully you'll come back and see me in another video soon. Bye.